TCU. Already drama. What's going on?
Already drama. Fly ball to left. And as you know, at Kendrick Family Ballpark, the wind tends to blow out to left field. It looks like it is again. Ball was hit, continues to drift. Look like it might be out, but no. And I think, who's out there? Gravelin?
Mathling Gravelin.
Yeah, Gravelin out in left field goes up against the wall, and I don't know that he straight robbed a home run, but he certainly took away an extra base hit, and it was close to being out of the park. So one batter up, one batter in the books, one out, and a circus catch. Top 10 catch of the night. Put that in the books already. Mountaineers with a good start.
Yeah, great start for West Virginia. One out so far, top of the inning and top of the first.
All right.
And we'll follow along over the course of the next 22 minutes before we leave the air.
We'll keep an eye on that. If you're watching along while you listen to us, let us know, 304-8255. 304. We'll get back to baseball here in just a minute. Let's talk basketball for a second. As I mentioned a couple of times, Rocco Miller, Field of 68, reporting West Virginia and North Carolina are close to finalizing an agreement to play a non-conference basketball game. Reported date is Friday, November 27th. We'll get to that here in just a second. Reported site, Charlotte, North Carolina, as part of the Dick Vitale Invitational. So a couple things to get to. If that is accurate and comes to fruition, Friday, November 27th, Greg, that's a big day for Mountaineer fans.
Yeah, a real big day. We'll see how the timing goes because West Virginia's football team also is going to play that night. That's a Friday night, obviously the day after Thanksgiving, West Virginia at Utah. They haven't announced the exact game time for the football contest. It'll be either 8 or 9 o'clock. Right now, it may be better the later it goes, so fans don't have to go back and forth. Maybe you get a 7 o'clock start for basketball, 9 o'clock start for football, and you got a whole evening worth of Mountaineer activity. But both will be that day. And we'll see. Maybe they'll do the basketball game in the afternoon since it's a semi-holiday the day after Thanksgiving. But it is certainly going to be an interesting day. And it's been a year or two since West Virginia has played North Carolina, though it's not unprecedented.
Yeah, there has been a few meetings, and we'll get into this. I'm interested in your thoughts. Do you like this matchup? 304-8255. 304. I said earlier this week that West Virginia was going to have a difficult non-conference schedule. This adds right in there. West Virginia is playing some teams already in the players era that's announced, not in terms of opponents, but the field has been announced. That's a big boy field. You've obviously got a game here against one of the Blue Bloods in North Carolina, and there's a lot of things to break apart in that. So let's start first with just the history in this. West Virginia really good against the Tar Heels, Coach Hunter.
It's so good. As a matter of fact, it's perfect. And then you may go, they played them once. No, this will be the 6th meeting all time between the Mountaineers and Tar Heels. But it's been 60 years, actually 61, since West Virginia played the University of North Carolina in men's basketball. They've played them only once in Morgantown. That was in 52. West Virginia and North Carolina were part of the Southern Conference together for a couple of years. West Virginia entered the Southern Conference in 50. ACC started a couple of years later, but in those intermediate years, they were in part of the league. So they played as league members in 51 and 52. Once in at North Carolina, once in Morgantown. West Virginia wins both of those, and then I don't think they were called MTEs back in the day.
Probably not.
But in essence, that's what West Virginia did. Played them in early in the 49-50 season in Raleigh at the University of North Carolina, or North Carolina State University's arena. West Virginia gets a win then. And then also in 57, as part of one of the most iconic weekends of West Virginia basketball history, the Kentucky Invitational. West Virginia beats host Kentucky, which is 2, and then North Carolina, which is 1, both in Lexington in back-to-back meetings. And again, that was the freshman year for Jerry West, and it just sort of started off that entire era with a big boom. Takes West Virginia, they were already top 10, took them up to number 1 before that was over. And then most recently, 1965, also in an MTE at Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, West Virginia, gets a 102-97 victory as Fritz Williams and the Mountaineers just pouring on the points. That was a different era. I don't think it'll be 1-0 or 2.
MTA, a recent term, just like score the basketball is. Those were not around back in the Jerry West era. So this is a fun matchup. North Carolina is in a period of transition. Hubert Davis out, new coach Michael Malone in. He of the recent NBA vintage was the coach of the Denver Nuggets for a number of years, won a World's Championship with the Denver Nuggets, his first stint in college. So that'll be interesting to see how that roster comes together. Obviously, plenty of time to break down that matchup. We're not doing that tonight, but it certainly is a fun, just from a name matchup, that's a fun matchup there getting North Carolina. It's down in Charlotte. I'll be fascinated to see what that crowd looks like, because that's not one that's going to be 90-10 Carolina, West Virginia. There will be some, I don't know that Carolina appreciates what's about to show up in Charlotte on the other side. They're going to go into that thinking, it's a pseudo home game for us. We're in Charlotte. We'll take this arena over. Strap in, because the Golden Blue's coming.
Well, it was only a couple of years ago a Mountaineer athletic team played the University of North Carolina in Charlotte. It was a bowl game, and it was dominated by blue and gold.
That's right.
So there was a little bit of Carolina blue there, but there wasn't nearly as much as there was West Virginia side. So
that's a good point.
We'll see.
Now, I expect they'll have a better turnout first year head coach, and it's basketball. But we'll see. That'll be West Virginia will show up and compete there with the fan base.
And again, I guess that's just a week after the Players era.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
so
what
West
I'm saying.
Virginia's going to have some great early tests.
Strength of schedule. Now, if we get screwed in the strength of schedule metric next year, I'm gonna start screaming about that already, Coach Hunter, because you are out of the gate playing some real teams next year, and we'll certainly have a lot more to talk about West Virginia. But that being reported by Rocco Miller, Field of 68, West Virginia, North Carolina, Friday, November 27th in Charlotte, part of the Dick Vitale Invitational. Keep your texts coming. When I see we got a bunch coming in on this game, we'll get your thoughts. 304-8255. 304. What do you think about playing the Tar Heels in basketball? And do you like the double dip? As a Mountaineer fan, that's on Black Friday, so hope you're home and around the house and enjoying a day off from work, eating some leftovers. You get a double dip football, basketball. Do you like that, or would you rather that be split a little bit with one each day to kind of spread out your Mountaineer fandom over the whole weekend? 304-TALK-304 if you'd like to weigh in. West Virginia baseball. Bottom of the first, 1-2-3, top of the first, Greg, by Ian Korn. And the defense was really good early. Mentioned Gravelin against the left field wall, making a catch to rob an extra base hit. The next batter hits a hard ground ball to first base, Armani Guzman, who knocks it down but does not have it. Has to go chase it down. Credit Korn, who's already over to first. Guzman picks it up, throws it about 97 miles an hour over to Korn, little bit low. He makes the stretch and catch. 2 outs, and then they get the third on a fly out to Schoenfield. I know Steve, Sabins likes to mix and match guys. The way Korn handled that, he might be able to mix in at first base there. Heck of a play.
We've talked about this Mountaineer defense. So often that's an underrated area, right? You talk about pitching, you talk about batting, but the plays that this team can make in the field defensively with their gloves and in the arms are certainly a huge factor. As Kyle pointed out yesterday and throughout the week, West Virginia leads the Big 12 in fielding percentage.
It is a part of the reason why those ERAs are so good for those starting pitching, right? I mean, those go hand in hand. Generally, if the pitchers are dealing, you're getting some good defense. West Virginia on to Gavin Kelly here, strikeout of Einish on what looked like a borderline call there. We'll see. As long as Korn is getting that same pitch up and away, we'll take it. But Einish goes down. Looking as the first batter at the bottom of the first, Gavin Kelly comes to the plate next.
Well, the role that Gavin Kelly has been on, we'll see.
Take one out.
You think the ball will carry as much in the wet weather, wet, cold, chilly night like it has in some of the other warm weather games?
Yeah, they say that it does not, right? It's usually the heat and humidity that makes it jump. But that TCU batter to lead off the game, that when he got it up in the jet stream there to left, it was moving.
There's some wind.
Normally, it was moving. It looks like it is. I mean, the flag is blowing out towards left there. So we'll see. Gavin Kelly still up 1-2 count on him. So we'll see. Won't do play-by-play here, Greg, but we will watch this batter for Gavin Kelly hit here before we go to break.
You can tune in to Kyle Wiggs as he makes a call, or if you want, we'll give the little Caridi some opportunities.
You got options. You got Kyle. You got Andrew on the radio side, or you can sit with us, and we'll talk about some other things when we come back from the break and keep you abreast of this baseball game. It's 0-0, bottom of the first. Gavin Kelly batting right now for the Mountaineers. Ball 2-2 on this, Coach Hunter. So he's ruining my flow here. I'd wish he'd just hit the home run here, make it 1-0, and then we'll get a break in here. Text line's open, 304-8255-304. What do you think of this proposed game coming up against North Carolina in men's basketball? And do you like that it's the same day as Texas Tech football, November 27th? 304-TALK-304. Full count to Gavin Kelly here, bottom of the first. Score 0-0. Does look a little chilly. People have their coats on out there. It did pop up popped up a couple degrees as we were coming into the studio. Got up near 50. Was down in the 40s for most of the day. Gavin with a fly ball to first, and he is out. So we go to Schoenfeld up third. Let's get a break in now. When we come back, we'll update you on where we are in the baseball game. We've got some Division II results to get to you. We've got some high school results to get to you, and we'll get to your text. All of that next on the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Getting ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response, so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline
returns in 2 minutes
on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
We're through one over at Kendrick Family Ballpark, 0-0 TCU and West Virginia. West Virginia just now taking the field for the top of the second. We'll get back to that here in just a minute. Text coming up here as well, but first, some high school softball regional action going on this evening. North Region Quad A, Coach Hunter. We have the the first entrant into the Quad A state tournament. That's University High from here in Morgantown. They take down Washington 7-0 to lock up a return to the state tournament for the third straight year for the Hawks. Sophia Lahasset, we've talked about her before. She's been a really talented pitcher for UHS. She goes 7 innings, only gave up 2 hits, struck out 11. How about that night? Complete game, strike out 11, give up 2 hits.
That works.
For
2
a state tournament berth.
Won it? When they win it?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yep, they got there last year as well. So third straight berth for the Hawks. On the offensive side, Adeline Brown drove the bats, 3 RBIs for Brown to lead that offense. Morgantown in action as we speak right now against Jefferson. If MHS wins, they advance on as well. So tomorrow we'll cover some more softball action as well. D2 tournament going on this week as well, or today in fact. And we've talked about that all week. We had Dean Peterson from Charleston last night, the head baseball coach. They were in action today. We had Sarah Schoon from Glenville State on a couple of nights ago. They were in action, the Pioneers, playing earlier today. Here's a rundown. You ready? How about this breakdown? This came from our buddy Jack Withrow, who's the play-by-play guy for seemingly every sport
in the Kanawha Valley.
In Kanawha Valley, but does a lot of the UC games, and he does some of the MEC tournament games with us on MetroNews, friend of the program. He set a great breakdown here. So you ready, Greg?
Yep.
Softball, D2 Atlantic Regional. Number 7 seed Fairmont State lost 1-0 to number 2 seed East Stroudsburg in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. The Falcons will play an elimination game tomorrow at 12:30 against the 6 seed Westchester. Number 5 seed Charleston defeated number 4 Glenville 9-6 in Shippensburg, PA. Charleston freshman Emma Smith with a grand slam in the top of the first that led the way for the Golden Eagles. For Glenville State, Delaney Warnick, remember we talked about her? She had 6 home runs in the conference tournament. She hit a 2-run bomb today for the Pioneers. UC takes that one. Glenville will play number 8 seed Claflin tomorrow in an elimination game at 1:30. Charleston will play the 1 seed Shippensburg tomorrow at 11. So more games coming up. Charleston beat Shippensburg earlier this year 6-1 down in Salem, Virginia. So they get the rematch tomorrow. So we'll keep you posted on the softball Atlantic Regional coming up tomorrow. Baseball side of things, Charleston lost to Seton Hill 5-2 in Game 1. And then Charleston eliminated in Game 2 with a loss to number 2 seed Millersville. How about this for always a West Virginia connection? The pitcher for Millersville that got the win is a Sissonville native. He goes 6 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts in knocking the UC Golden Eagles out of the tournament. So thanks, Jack Withrow, for that fantastic breakdown.
By the way, quick update from Kendrick Family Ballpark. Ian Korn continues to roll along. 2 innings so far for the Mountaineers starting pitcher. 6 straight outs.
Yeah. And economical, too. That was a fast top of the inning. That's what you need. Through 2 already for Korn. I like it. All right, some text. Let's get into them. Texter says, this is Gary from Vienna, North Carolina game in basketball sounds great. You can draw fans from southern West Virginia, Myrtle Beach, all over the southeastern area. What a crowd it will be. We agree with that.
Just one thing
Gary.
I just quickly thought of. Mountaineers also play a football game in the city of Charlotte in third game of the year as they have a neutral site game against Virginia.
Good point.
Down there. So they'll be in that city for major events twice in 2 months?
Mountaineer fans down there will be happy. Sure, Greg from Lake Norman will be checking in here in just a minute. Texter, I like the idea of playing North Carolina head-to-head. Then the selection committee could never select North Carolina over the Mountaineers.
They'd find a way.
I love it. Texter, happy with playing North Carolina in Charlotte. This texter, when was the last time football and basketball played on the same day? Coach Hunter?
I'd have to go back and do a little bit more research. It's happened.
We played Ohio State in basketball leaving a bowl game.
Yes.
Right?
That's my memory. That was the Deuce McBride hit a 3 to take down the Buckeyes.
Was that in Charlotte? Was that the Meineke Car Care Bowl?
It could have been.
I feel like we were leaving Charlotte. Listening to that game while we were going.
I think you're right.
Somebody can check in.
that's happened at various bowl games at times over the years. I want to say there was a Virginia basketball game, and maybe the Mountaineers were. I don't remember.
Well, there's your project tonight. You can look into that tonight.
I can look at that.
Yeah.
I think I've been at the Gator Bowl. That's happened multiple times.
Here's Greg from Lake Norman checking in right on cue. Says, well, I sure hope a deal to the to play UNC Chapel Hill doesn't happen. Living in the great state of North Carolina for 37 years, I've enjoyed shutting up many a braggadocious, quote, Chapel Hill, as they like to call themselves, fans, by reminding them that West Virginia is 5-0 all-time against them. No sense in messing with success.
6-0 sounds even better.
Says Greg. Texter, I'll be excited to play North Carolina if it's in Charleston, just like Wake Forest. Well, sorry. It's going to be in Charlotte. One-game deal or a home and home? That's a good question. I do not think it's neutral. I think it's a one-off, but don't hold me to that. We'll get more information in the coming days.
Part of that Vitale Classic, it may be a little different.
Yeah, I think it's just a one-off situation. Boy, that is a tough schedule to open up.
Which brings the Wake Forest game. Is that replayed this year?
Yes.
There?
Yes.
But it won't be on their home floor.
Correct.
Okay.
Texter, Doug in Winfield. Love the game with North Carolina. However, the date's terrible. What could be a great marquee game for the Mountaineer basketball program is going to be lost in a sea of season-ending college football games. Would love to see it the second week of December after the conference football championships. Yeah, that is a crowded weekend. There's no question. There's a lot going on. But listen, I have a feeling if West Virginia finds a way to win that game, we will not let people forget that had just happened. But you're right, Doug. That is an absolutely packed time of year. No question. You excited about that, Greg? You like it? You like the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, again, because I likely will be covering football, I'll be lucky to see it.
You'd rather a separate day. So you're in the camp.
Yeah, but you know what? I understand. That's how those things. These are made for TV events in a lot of ways, and so they're going to dictate when and where.
Yeah, correct. All right, what do you got for an update, baseball, before we get out of here?
West Virginia has started the bottom of the second, just got into the inning with Sean Smith batting, nothing happened.
All right, let's keep it rolling. If you're the Mountaineers, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap up Game 1, look ahead to Game 2. We've got some football. Jaden Bray was on Three Guys. We'll play that for you coming up tomorrow as well. Thanks for the text. Enjoy your night. We'll see you tomorrow.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network.
All rights reserved.